Welcome to the Joy School Podcast. Real talk about what it takes to create your happiest, healthiest, and most dynamic life. And now, here's your host, transformational life coach, happiness strategist, and best-selling author, Kristi Ling Spencer.
Well, hello, beautiful friends. I hope you are having a wonderful day filled with possibility wherever you are listening from today. I am in Los Angeles today, house sitting for the next couple of weeks for my dear friend Krista. It's so peaceful. It's a quiet neighborhood in the San Fernando Valley. There's a large garden with a beautiful pool, and I'm here watching her adorable senior dog, Huck. So it really just couldn't get much better. And I'm getting a ton of work done, which I love because so much of it I'm going to get to share with you all. So I was really feeling like I needed a retreat to work on healing some health issues I've been dealing with, as well as to get a few projects done that are requiring higher levels of focus and energy. So I flew in from Houston a couple of days ago, and I'm already off to a great start. I've been resting and enjoying just the quiet and eating super healthy. Like I brought that to a whole nother level for this trip. And I am creating, and it feels so good. And actually the experience of getting here is what inspired today's podcast topic, which is all about support. We all need support in our lives, especially when we're dealing with some tough things. Because as I always say, sometimes life just doesn't throw us lemons. It throws us grenades now and then. And so today I want to share with you 2 ideas about how to receive more high quality and nurturing support when you need it in your life. Now, I hope this podcast offers you some support in multiple different ways, but sometimes in life, we need that extra support from the people around us, from our surroundings, from unexpected places, right? And the story about how this house sitting retreat happened is just a great example of what we're going to talk about today. So the first idea around this that I want to share with you is very simple, but it's the thing that most of us forget to do, especially when going through difficult things that can have us distracted or experiencing some anxiety. And that is to ask for the support that you need. Now, it sounds simple, but it really is so overlooked often, especially when we're feeling like low energy or we're not in a great place. Sometimes we just don't think about asking for the support we need, or maybe we're hindered from doing it because we're afraid of feeling like a bother to the people in our lives. But I promise you, the people in your life are excited to support you. All you need to do is ask because they're not mind readers, right? So as I mentioned, this can be just straight up asking a trusted friend, or delegating some tasks and obligations to people who are willing to help, or asking your partner for the support your soul is desiring, right? But if you don't express what you need, others around you and the universe for that matter really can't know for sure what it is that you need and where you need support. So this can also require getting creative, because sometimes it means you need to sit with the idea of receiving support, because sometimes receiving can be a challenge, right? I know that's something I personally have had to work on. And then once you sit with it for a while, you can pinpoint exactly what kind of support you need so that you can effectively ask for it. As the saying goes, ask and you shall receive, right? But if you don't ask, how are the people in your life who would absolutely love to help you supposed to know what it is that you need and when you need it? So I've really been trying to get better at this over the past couple of years, and I'm focusing on this skill. It is a skill to be able to ask for support and to get the courage to ask those in your life for what it is you need. So I've been focusing on this skill, and it has really served me and invited in support from some beautiful people and from some beautiful places. So I would like to share with you and invite you to sit down and think about or journal about what kinds of support you'd like to have in your life right now, and how and who you can share your needs with. Now, asking for the support you need may not actually be asking another human, but asking Source, God, the universe, energy for help that you need. You would be so surprised how powerful this is, whether it's through prayer, meditation, journaling, but verbally out loud, asking for support, and then working to create the energetic and emotional space to receive it, and then to look for it, to be on the lookout, because looking is so important. What we find is what we are consciously looking for. So here's an example of this. A few weeks ago, I was on a slippery slope to a dark place. All within the course of about 10 days, my mom was diagnosed with a life-threatening illness. The vision in my left eye suddenly changed overnight, resulting in an emergency visit to the eye specialist. And long story short, it has me adjusting to seeing out of that eye in kind of a different way. There's some slight damage, which is irreversible, but the doctor says over time, my brain will adjust to it and I won't notice it as much. Now I can still see out of that eye. It just kind of looks like I'm looking through a dirty pair of glasses. And it's really more annoying than anything else. But that's been stressful and also kind of difficult to adjust to my vision that was once pretty perfect, with contact lenses, but I was always able to see fine, to now adjusting to kind of seeing things in a different way. But I am focusing on what the doctor said about my brain adjusting and not noticing it as much, right? Isn't the brain amazing? Yay, brain. So this is the outcome that I am intensely focused on right now, and allowing my brain the space to focus on getting there every single day. So then I believe all the stress from these things led to a sudden onset of a pretty bad case of tinnitus. Now, some people pronounce this tinnitus. I have been corrected by my doctor. The correct way to pronounce it is tinnitus, which in short is a ringing in the ears. And everyone experiences this sometimes, a little bit of ringing for a few seconds here and there. But with more serious cases, it doesn't stop. And in my case, for the past few weeks, I've had a loud ringing in my right ear for about 20 hours a day. Yeah, fun times, right? Now, I don't want y'all to worry about me. I'm actually in a great place and I'm working on healing these things. I've seen the specialists I need to see and I have all the support that I need. But the biggest support that I actually needed to create was support from myself at this time. But in order to give myself the support I needed some support from other areas, which is kind of what inspired this today. So I'm really just here, house sitting for my friend, working on healing, working on some projects that we're calling my soul, and working on feeling really, really good. Because sometimes that's all you need, is to take a step back and kind of drop some things and focus on feeling great again, right? This is what our soul and our body needs to work on healing and working to adjusting to new normals when they hit. And so I am really working hard on all of this. Now, when all of this occurred, I was really full of anxiety again, temporary situational anxiety. I recognized what it was and allowed myself to sit with that. But I knew that I needed to really do some drastic things to start amping up my self-care, working on healing, and getting out of that state of stress and anxiety so that I didn't invite more health issues and different things to happen, right? So with everything that was going on, I was really feeling like I was needing to take a step back and ask for some additional support. And I was ready to ask for support, but I wasn't sure where it would come from or how it would appear. I sat down and took a deep breath and trying to breathe out the overwhelm I was feeling and asked out loud for support in the form of a way to be able to work through these situations. Now, I didn't know what that was going to be, but I just asked for it. And I asked for it with all my heart and soul. Well, the next day I was talking to my friend Krista and she said, "Hey, I'm going out of town for a couple weeks. Is there any chance you want my place? Do you want to stay here and watch my dog for me?" Now, not only was this the perfect way to spend some well-needed time for reflective healing and, time to just have some quiet to myself and to work on some soul projects, but her home is only about 25 minutes from where my mom lives. And I was also feeling like my mom really needed my support at this time. But being in Houston, I couldn't really offer anything but phone support or maybe sending some financial support. So this was really a perfect opportunity, not only to work on what I needed to work on and have that space, but also to be close to my mom for a couple of weeks. How amazing is that? So of course I said, heck yeah, I want to do this for you, and this will serve me just as much as it will serve you. And it just worked out so well. So I'm feeling really excited to be here, and I'm already feeling so much better. Could that have been any more perfect? And I really believe there was a connection between me putting it out there and just asking for it and focusing on the support I needed intently and creating the space to allow it to come. And then the very next day, it's showing up for me. So here I am on a self-manifested retreat recording this podcast for you. I asked for the support I needed, and I received exactly what I needed. So now, having shared with you that story, it brings me to a second idea about all this that I wanted to share with you today. And that is to always be on the lookout for support from unexpected sources and places. Life wants to support us, but so many times we're not paying attention to all the unexpected sources of support that show up for us in amazing and often overlooked ways. These winks of support show up and sometimes go unnoticed, oftentimes go unnoticed, right? Like when you're late getting somewhere and you hit every green light. Don't you love when that happens? Or when you're missing someone and at that moment they call or text you. Isn't that always amazing? It's all connected, my friends. There are bigger signs of support to look for, like the morning I woke up with the issue in my eye. It was a Saturday morning, and so I was immediately worried I wouldn't be able to get in to see a specialist that day. But it just happened that my eye doctor, who is not normally in on Saturdays, was in that day. She happened to be in that day and got me in for an emergency visit first thing and was able to tell me what my next move needed to be. I took notice of that support, and I felt so grateful for it. When you start to be on the lookout for the ways that the universe and the world and life is supporting you, and the small supportive miracles that happen for us on a regular basis, and feel gratitude for them, you will start to notice even more coming your way. It's funny how that works, but it really is true. More support, more abundance, more connection. Train your mind to be on the lookout for these things, and soon the way you experience life will be completely different in incredible and beautiful ways. Allow yourself to feel grateful for this support before it's even appeared, with a deep knowing that it's always on the way. Support is all around you. Be on the lookout for what you want and what you need, and be willing to focus on it. Be willing to ask for it out loud, and you'll find so much more of it, friends. Life loves you and wants to support you, and those in your inner circle do too. You just have to let them know what you need. And even some outside of your inner circle would love to help you if just given the chance. All right, now we come to the part of the show where I share a Joy School habit with you. Each episode, I share a small, doable habit that has positive payoff when you implement it. Small, positive habits really add up. They all create the foundation for a more joyful, energetic, and successful life. So for this episode's new habit, I'd like to invite you to create the habit of choosing a theme for each month to focus on intently. So at the start of every month, when I'm updating my calendar, I choose a word or a phrase that represents what I want to accomplish or the energy I'd like to create that month. I write it on a piece of paper and I put it somewhere where I will see it every single day. I also do this at the beginning of each year by choosing a theme for the year as well. And many times my monthly words or themes are in support of my theme for the year. My theme for this year is simplify. And for this month, my theme is self-care, which you might have guessed after listening to this episode. So choosing a theme for each month, it can be a word or a very short phrase, really can help you just amplify the energy behind what it is you want to create and experience in your life, and the goals that you want to accomplish. And you can do this at the beginning of each year, or if you choose not to do it around New Year's or the holidays because you're super busy and that's just not where you feel the new energy, because it's different for everybody, you could do it for your birthday each year, your own personal new year, and create a theme for each year that celebrates the new you, right? But every month, look at your calendar at the beginning of each month and choose a word or a theme that represents what you want to create or experience or accomplish that month. It's just a little supportive habit that can make a big difference. All right, my friends, I am sending you so much love. If you enjoyed this episode, I would be super grateful if you would leave a review over on Apple Podcasts. This is how you can help the show reach more people who might also enjoy it. And I love reading what you have to say. Be sure to connect with me on social media. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. You can visit my website where I have my blog and other information at KristiLingSpencer.com. Sending you tons and tons of love and support. Until next time, remember, you've got what it takes to create more amazing days. And more amazing days make up a pretty amazing life. Have a beautiful week, friends, and I will see you very soon.